Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 6th episode of the Farside Podcast. I'm your host, Landon Miker, and today's podcast is sponsored by Abigator Sex and Sports Energy Drinks. Strengthens your bones and boners. Try out their new flavor, Come On Broccoli, out now. All right, we're going to dive right into this podcast. Some of the topics we are going to be discussing in this 6th episode is a novel that I wrote. We're going to be talking about a novel I wrote back in the spring titled The Heat Wave. We are also going to be doing a reaction to NTD Films' video, Jaden's Spidget Finner. We're going to have 2 movie reviews in this podcast, the 1997 drama Good Will Hunting and the 1991 horror thriller mystery, The Silence of the Lambs. And the final topic in today's podcast is we're going to be talking about the mobile video game Clash Royale and specifically the Pass Royale feature to this game. If you don't know what that is, I will inform you on everything you need to know about it. All right, we're going to dive right into our first topic today once I find my page here, which is The Heat Wave. So The Heat Wave is a novel. I'm just going to give you a brief background information on it, and then we'll dive right into the synopsis. So The Heat Wave is a novel I wrote back in the spring of this year. I wrote it in about 3 weeks, and I decided to write it because essentially what happened was I had some time off. I mean, I was really busy, and then all of a sudden everything ended with this whole COVID-19 thing. School ended, all my, I guess you could say, extracurricular activities ended, and I just had a bunch of time on my hands, and so I decided I wanted to write a novel. As in the past, it's been a long time, but I have written novels in the past, and it was something I really enjoyed doing, and because just in the past few years I haven't been doing that, and I had a bunch of time, and I thought, hey, why not? So I wrote this novel titled The Heat Wave. It's of the genre, it's dystopian kind of, end-of-the-world type story. You probably know the type. I don't really need to dive into that. And basically, it was inspired by 2 novels I read, and 2 novels I really enjoy and think very, very highly of. These novels are James Dashner's The Maze Runner and that series, essentially just kind of based off that series in a way, as well as, and one you might not be as familiar with, but Eric Walter's The Rule of 3 series. It's a little less known. Obviously, pretty much everyone's heard of The Maze Runner, whether or not you've read the books or seen the films, you've heard of it. But it's also based, and this one more than the other is Eric Walter's Rule of 3 series. It's heavily influenced by those novels, for sure. And also a little bit of inspiration drawn from what's been going on in the real world right now. What's been going on, with the COVID-19 pandemic. I drew a little inspiration from that with this dystopian kind of story. All right, so I'm going to read because I have a synopsis here of the story that I also wrote. And this is basically going to give you a very vague but brief idea of what this novel's about. So here we go. A record-breaking heat wave has been striking the world for the past 3 weeks. Besides uncontrollable sweating and increase in air conditioning bills, it's harmless. That is until the heat fries all computers and electricity worldwide, causing everything to shut down and creating an international blackout. As people begin to panic and turn to violence for answers, what they fail to realize is that the worst is yet to come. 15-year-old Sam McNelson is in the middle of it all and will watch as society begins to crumble, families become torn apart and separated, and the fight for survival becomes all too real, leading Sam to learn the hard way that no one can be trusted. Noah probably has similar thoughts to that right now. Can't trust me as I temporarily disabled his position on this podcast from co-host. And again, I apologize for that, Noah. Maybe we can cut to an empty shot of his table right here where he used to sit. If we could get that, that would be depressing, I guess. But anyways, so yeah, that's the synopsis for this story. The story was written in 3 weeks. And basically, there are 3 parts to this story. It's divided into 3 different parts. They're not even in length, I'll tell you that. There's the first part, which is the heat wave. The second part of the novel is titled The Loss of Connection. And the third part, this might be a little bit of a spoiler, but not really, is titled The Virus. All right, so I'm now just going to briefly talk about a little bit about our main characters and just a general kind of plot to the story, just elaborate on the plot. So our main character's name, as it mentioned here, was Sam McNelson, who is 15 years old, and he's in the middle of it all. he has, so he's from a large family of 5. He has 4 siblings, and he is the middle child. And he has an older sister named Elizabeth McNelson, an older brother named Matthew McNelson, younger brother and sister who just so happen to be twins named Teddy McNelson and Abigail McNelson, and his parents' names are Margaret McNelson and Doug McNelson. I don't know why I said the last names on all of those. That was just really probably annoying for everyone, including myself. Including myself when I edit this and have to hear that a bazillion times. And so, yes, as I read off those characters, you probably did see pictures of characters because I had so much bloody time on my hands. I created cartoon character images for this novel. I know. It's more than weird, but let's just say when you have a lot of time on your hands, that's what you do with it. I don't know. All right. So some of the more minor characters here, and I think I'm going to have to pull them up on my computer because I don't actually have them written down. Let's see if I can find them here. All right, so many folders. Okay, here we go. So we've got this guy's a bigger character. He's a neighbor and a kind of like a mentor, I guess you could say, to Sam. His name's Earl Weber. We've got military leader, expert, whatever you want to call him, tough guy, Joe Arnold. We've got a friend of Sam's and in no relation to the horrendous singer-songwriter and god-awful philosopher, but we got Jake Mondragon. Again, no relation to that clown. And then we've got Owen Krause, James Lozano, and Olivia Hall, one more here, Leo Pratt. Right, okay. Not going to say their roles in the story because they come in a little later, and that would be kind of a spoiler, so I'll leave that for now. There are other very minor characters, but those are just kind of the main set that, as a reader, you would become familiar with. All right, so as far as it goes for how this book is going in terms of publishing and how I'm going to reach it to the masses, if you want to put it that way, because I'm sure millions, hundreds of thousands want to see this and read this, but my plan was originally to publish this book, not actually publish it, but kind of release it. However I'm going to do that, I have not decided yet, so I'll talk about that a little later here. But my original plan was to publish this book back in June, late June, early June, mid-June, sometime in June. I didn't really know when. So it could come out for summer, because it's obviously got kind of a summer theme. The story takes place in summer. Kind of. It takes place in, I think late May or early June. I can't remember. But, and it's titled The Heat Wave, which is something, that's just very summer themed, obviously, for quite obvious reasons. And this story was going to release nicely right at the beginning of summer so that readers could get it. It would be kind of like a summer book. It was just going to be a nice kind of little release date. But that didn't happen. I wrote the book in 3 weeks. No word of a lie, 48,000 words, 190 some odd pages, I think. 3 weeks, had it done. But when it came to editing it, that's kind of where I get lazy, and I think I got about 25 chapters into editing, and since then, and that was 2 months ago, and I haven't edited it since, I haven't touched it since, so tragic, I guess. But yeah, when I do finally get this published, I'm hoping to somehow, maybe I'll put it as some sort of audiobook on YouTube. I don't know if anyone would be interested in that. But if you do want to read this, because I'm not sure how it's actually going to come out, if you are interested in it and you do want to read it, just get in touch with me. I mean, you can reach me on Instagram at my Instagram account, Landon Miker, or on the Farside Films Instagram account at Farside Films. And you could also just comment in the comment section here on YouTube. I don't get many comments if you haven't noticed. So if you put it in the comment section down below, I will get back to you sooner or later. More sooner than later, because I will see it, definitely. And again, thank you for those of you who have been commenting, the few of you that have been, greatly appreciated. Again, and for those of you who just stay tuned watching these videos, and I hope you're enjoying them. Again, thank you very much. But yeah, anyways, that's a little off topic. So I'm not going to say too much more about The Heat Wave. It's a very dystopian novel. I was about to say film. You can tell where I usually do my creative works. And basically the story follows Sam, this main character Sam, and his family and their struggle to survive in this, kind of dystopian world that's falling apart and crumbling before their eyes. And they kind of have to realize, well, I don't want to ruin too much, but let's just say this. There's going to be a little bit, I think they're coming together as a neighborhood, and they're going to have to try and survive as a neighborhood and see what they can do to, work together and try and get through this, because this is unprecedented times. I'm sure viewers, you've heard that expression a lot recently. I know I have. And anyways, yeah, that's about it for this story. I will give one more spoiler and say that the family definitely becomes separated, and there is definitely some separation of family members throughout this novel, as with the fact that all transportation shut down, everything's shut down. People are stranded. People are going to be everywhere. And that is something I definitely worked into this novel, as well as a lot of just kind of like jabs at modern society, that kind of stuff. The usual in these types of books, right? Like, that's about it. So look for the heat wave. I don't know where it's going to be. Probably nowhere. But if you do want to read it, if you are interested in it, please contact me and I will work that out so that hopefully you can get a copy of it, digital or whatever. All right. We are going to have to cut to advertisement, quick break, because we got a sponsor now. When we get back, we are going to begin the reaction to NTD Films' Jaden's Spidget Finner. I'm looking forward to that. It's been a while since I've seen that video, and we'll talk about that. But first, we have to take a quick break for an advertisement, so we'll be right back.
Are you tired of being physically weak? Meek! And even weaker down there? If so, then get Abigator's new sports energy drink from Abby Abs. It's absolutely delicious. Now let's hear from some of our happy customers.
I'm obsessed with these drinks. They're abolicious. Abigator makes me feel abnormal.
So take an abnormous sip. Now some say your abs might break off, but I tell you that's absolutely impossible. Now let's see some of the progress your abs will have after only one bottle of Abigator sports drink. Here is No after he had only one bottle of Abigator sports drinks. And if you want more than gaining abs, this is the drink for you. That's right, not only will you be feeling rock hard up here, but you'll be even harder down there. So with physical benefits and sexual benefits, why say no? We even have green apple flavor. Abigator retails for $10. Buy it at any sexual store and be aroused, amazed by the abs you will gain.
Hello everyone and welcome back. We are now going to move on to the second topic to this podcast, which is the reaction to NTD Films' video titled Jaden's Spidget Finner. So this video came out on October 30th, 2017. It is the fourth video to his Human series, and I'm just going to read you the description, what NTD wrote himself here in the description of the video. So it says, "This is the fourth episode to my series. In this episode, Jaden gets a fidget spinner and becomes obsessed with it. Will he be able to break the addiction? Find out in Jaden's Spidget Finner. I hope you enjoy, and if you do, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe." All right. So this video, I remember, I'm in this video, if you didn't know that, if you cared. But I remember it being, when it came out, one of my favorites of this series. He had this Human series, and it was a good video. It was one of my favorites. And the filming behind it, the shooting of that video was chaotic. I'm not even going to get into that yet. But let's just watch the video first. And I'll give my brief opinion on it, and then we'll explain a little bit about what happened kind of behind the scenes of this video. So we're going to start the video in 3, 2, 1.
Pew!
Come on, we're gonna get him. We're gonna get him.
So if you didn't know,
Oh,
there
what's
was a
that? I'll go get
continuity, a running thing where Jaden would always be playing with Lego at the beginning of his videos.
Hi, who are you?
I'm Reggie's friend Joe Cool.
Cool. What's that?
This is a fidget spinner. It's supposed to be for kids with ADHD, but it's cool. I'm cool, so
Can I try it?
sure.
I like it. I'm keeping it.
Very
Bye.
lots of background noise there. Okay, do me a favor and pick up something I heard.
Yeah.
So
I'm
clearly
playing
some
with this
background
fidget spinner that
noise.
your friend gave me.
No, it's a fidget spinner.
That's what I said.
No, you said spit. I should probably go get that. Hey Joe Cole, what do you want? Your brother stole my fidget spinner. Can you get it back for me? Yeah, sure, just a sec.
This video is, by the way, 5.5 minutes, so it's gonna
No,
be
it's mine. I can't survive without it.
a long 5.5 minutes. I feel.
one.
There's more of these?
Yeah, just go to any 7-Eleven or something, and you can buy as many as you want.
Did
I don't
7-Eleven
think I can
actually
film
sell?
in 7-Eleven.
I feel like 7-Eleven would not have
then
sold.
Just order it offline.
Never mind. I see
What?
the joke
You can
now.
buy
I
these
see the joke.
online?
Yeah, just go to Amazon.
I forgot
Okay,
about that
Reggie
joke.
said to go to Amazon.ca on Safari and search.
If these videos were higher
And
quality and were
go to
actually good and getting a decent amount of views, I would have
and
assumed
search
Amazon sponsored this because this is just a
Fidget
100% sponsor.
spinners.
Sponsor. Go to Amazon.ca.
Enter.
Like, who
Ooh,
says
that's a
the
lot of
actual
fidget spinners.
website?
I like
Like,
that one.
it's such a
Add to
sponsor,
cart.
but it was
That
not
one's nice.
sponsored.
Add to cart.
Surprisingly.
Add to cart. Add to cart. Add to cart. Add to cart. Okay, I think that's enough for now. I'll advance checkout. Premium shipping, obviously. And confirm purchase. Now I just need to wait for them to bring me my fidget spinners.
A few hours later. Have you ever ordered anything off Amazon?
That must be my fidget
When
spinners.
has your order come? A few hours after you ordered it.
Hi, delivery person. Do you have my fidget spinners?
Unless you live like next door to the warehouse. Even then, it's not getting to you in a few
Do they
hours.
have it?
The heavy breathing, man.
I know, I
Do
just saw it on
remember
the screen
that.
a few minutes ago.
Well, thank you.
Chase, who plays Reggie, was
yeah.
chewing gum
Nah, I'm good.
while they were recording this video, and
Oh, these are gonna be so
that scene,
cool.
and you can hear him chewing gum.
Oh,
You
neat.
hear the door close.
Whoa, Jaden, you have a lot of fidget spinners.
I know, they're cool.
Why do you need so many?
Well, I need this one because it's pointy. This one is to watch sports games. This one's for Canada Day. This one is a circle. This one has 2 prongs. This one is bombers for the bomber games. This one's a backup for the bomber games. This one's a backup for the bomber game backup.
This scene, this shot right
these
here,
are all
I think really
cool
good in my
looking.
opinion. It's probably,
And
it's
this
for
one's
sure
my
the best shot in
favorite.
this
It's the
video. I
original,
think it's kind
and
of
this one
cool. It's
lights up.
nice to see all
Yeah,
the
Joe Cools.
fidget
No,
spinners
it's
laid
not.
out there, and I do have to give credit. If there's anything that makes this video good, that scene right there, pretty good.
Oh, hey Joe Cole. Where were you? You're supposed to get my fidget spinner back.
Ooh, the
Jaden
zoom,
bought some
that
new
was
ones,
me
so I think he'll be able to get it back.
purposely
now. Okay,
trying
thanks.
to ruin the video. I know. I am ashamed of that though.
Jaden, can Joe
It wasn't
Cole
good of me.
fidget
It was
spinner
not very
back?
nice.
No, it's mine. I need it.
Legitimately.
Sorry.
Talk
I
about
need
it
help.
after.
Jane's little brother, right?
Yeah.
I'm Jack LaPrentice.
Here we
nice
go.
to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
This kid here, what is he doing outside?
Bye.
Okay, bye, sweetie.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cringy at best.
You're here because Jaden's been acting very strange lately. We're hosting an intervention.
Oh, okay. Do you want me to speak like professionally?
So if you notice, the kind of like stumbling
Help.
upon the lines in
Help.
that scene is
Help.
things got a little tense.
Jaden, get in
We'd
here.
been there for a long time,
What do you
and
want?
Noah was fed up. Everyone was
Why
fed
is
up.
Jack here?
So that scene, we just rushed that scene. That was like the last shot we had to do of the day. So we just
I'm not.
rushed it.
It's like I don't even know you anymore.
You barely even knew me to begin with.
I'm gonna pause it right there. First pause, because that shot right there, that shot you're watching right now, took us about 2 hours to get it. I'm ashamed to say it took us about 2 hours to get it. There's 2 blooper videos that were inspired from this video, and pretty much a full blooper video. A full blooper video is of us trying to get this shot. And that video is like 14 minutes. Yeah, it took us 2 hours to get this shot. Absolutely ridiculous. Anyways, I'm going to continue.
You haven't played with Piggy in hours.
I have them right here.
What the?
Fidget spinners aren't even cool anymore. You know that, right?
So I don't care. I still like it.
Screw it.
Screw it. We're just gonna give you this nice pink pig. I painted it.
Oh, cool.
Shows it to the camera.
Yeah.
Noah
you.
just didn't care.
Yeah, no
this was the best we got after 2 hours. He's just like, no,
Go sell
done.
them. Oh, and this one too.
Yeah, it needs to be sold.
Leaves one on the couch there. Probably on purpose.
Oh, hey, what are you doing?
Where's my fidget spinner?
All right. You know what? In all fairness, yeah, I mean, it's not that bad of a video. Make what you want. Maybe everyone's gonna have a different opinion, but like, if you look at some of the other videos that came out around that time, like Reggie's Cat and Reggie's Fall Fun, and I think Jack's Losing Streak, Chef Jaden, there was a bunch of them. That one is a standout. That one stands out as still kind of, it's good. You know, it's still good. Whereas the ones around it, a different story for sure. So yeah, 2 blooper videos came from this. And I was probably the reason. No, I was definitely the reason. There were 2 blooper videos because basically I tried to screw up on purpose and just frustrate everyone on set. Not a very good thing to do, but what can I say? I don't know why I did it. I wouldn't do it anymore. I know some people probably wouldn't believe that, but no, I'm being generically serious. I would not do that anymore. And I don't know if I ever did apologize to Noah for it, but you know, I would like to apologize now. Not sure if it means anything. The series is like 3 years old. But I shouldn't have done what I did, and it was really immature and stupid. And that is the reason we have so many blooper videos stemming from this series. But yeah, that's about it. I mean, my general opinion, I guess if I had to score it, I'll score it out of 5. Because it's not a film, but it's something. It's a video. I would probably give it, honestly, for that series, about a 4. It's actually probably one of the better videos. Yes, there's problems with it. I mean, nothing's perfect. Everything's flawed. But I think generically speaking, it is a good video. And I do recommend you go check it out, as well as some of the other NTD videos. Maybe not Reggie's Cat, but go check out some of that human series. There's some good stuff there. All right, but that's about it for that topic. I do believe here, yeah, we have another advertisement. And so when we get back, I am going to do the movie reviews. We are reviewing 2 movies, Good Will Hunting and The Silence of the Lambs. But until then, enjoy this advertisement.
Hi, I'm Jake, and you're listening to my new single, Seasons Changin'. If you fuck with what you're hearing, go check it out on Spotify, Apple Music, and the iTunes Store.
All right, welcome back, everyone. We are moving on to the 3rd topic for this podcast. I know this is going to be another long one, so if you've stuck with us to this point, thank you very much, and hopefully you can make it to the end. All right, so the 3rd topic to this podcast is a movie review. So I was actually only going to do one film. I was only going to review one, and I watched 2 films recently, and they were both, I had a little bit to say about both, and so I was trying to decide, you know, which one do I do? And I decided in the end I was going to do both, because there's a few things I want to talk about. Both of them have a few things I need to mention. And yeah, lots to say. So, however, though, I am going to try to keep this segment shorter, as I am the only one reviewing the film now. So it's going to be kind of awkward because I have nobody to bounce ideas off of, or, you know, there's no mixed opinions here. It's just me telling you guys what I think of these 2 films, and then you guys can make of it what you want. So the films I'm going to be reviewing today is Good Will Hunting and The Silence of the Lambs. So we're going to start with Good Will Hunting here. Some generic information about the film. It released in 1997. The genre is drama. The runtime is 2 hours and 6 minutes. It has an R rating. The director, Gus Van Sant, and the cast: Matt Damon, Robin Williams, Ben Affleck, and it was written by Matt Damon and Ben Affleck. So I just threw that in there as an extra little bonus thing because I thought it was really cool how Matt Damon and Ben Affleck also happen to be the writers of the film. And being a writer myself, or I guess you could say aspiring, whatever, I enjoy writing as a hobby, let's just say that. I think it's really cool that these actors and people who are not normally known for writing films wrote this film. And the plot here, I just stole this from Netflix's description. When professors discover that an aimless janitor is also a math genius, a therapist helps the young man confront the demons that are holding him back. So I'm going to give this film, give a brief opinion, then score it. So I think this was a really good film. I think it was really well done. I think it was really good. Lots of emotion, lots of great acting performances from both Matt Damon and Robin Williams. I thought it was a really, really good film. It is a character-driven, dialogue-driven film. Lots of dialogue, lots of talking, lots of storyline just through, conversation and dialogue. And there is a lot of building of characters, and you see the demons inside of characters, the goods, the bads. I think it's a really good film. The characters are well developed. I think there's not a lot to say there. The only negative for it is, it's dialogue driven. So if you're looking for a lot of action, there's not a lot. There's one fight scene, I think, somewhere at the beginning of the film, but there's not a lot of action in this film. But I still think, there's a lot of goods in this film, and I think in general it is a good film. And I think very highly of it. So I'm going to score it an 8 out of 10. So moving on now to The Silence of the Lambs, the other film I'm going to review. So The Silence of the Lambs, released in 1991. The genre: thriller, horror, mystery. The runtime is 2 hours and 18 minutes, and the rating for the film is also R. The director is Jonathan Demme. The cast: Jodie Foster, Anthony Hopkins, Ted Levine, and Scott Glenn. The plot: Clarice Starling is an FBI agent in training, seeks help from Hannibal Lecter, a psychopathic serial killer and former psychiatrist, in order to apprehend another serial killer who's been claiming female victims. This film, I went into it because I saw the genre: thriller, horror, mystery. I watched Zodiac 5 out of 10, didn't like it. This isn't really my type. Changed my opinion. Blew me away because it was a really, really good film. There's really not that much I can say negative-wise. It's just a really well-done film. The characters are great. The storyline's great. It's a very intense, action-packed, fast-paced. Not too fast-paced, though, but fairly fast-paced film. And, it's fast enough you can keep up, but it's not too fast where you're like just lost. And it's not too slow where you're bored like I found I was in Zodiac. The runtime, too, is 2 hours, 18 minutes, so it's really only about 20 minutes shorter than Zodiac. But it did not, I'm going to be honest, it did not feel like it was 2 hours and 18 minutes. I would have guessed it was about 2 hours. Maybe. 150, 2 hours. With Zodiac, 3 hours. Like, that film was endless. This film was, despite it being, 2 hours and 18 minutes, which is on the longer side of film length, I found it didn't feel that long at all, and I really enjoyed the film. There's not many negatives. Really, there is no negatives. Maybe the only thing I would say is there was a few little things that I didn't like about it, but another thing that was done well, I was worried it was going to be super gruesome because it's this murder, and it is gruesome. Like, it's definitely not something that, I would say is super clean and all, butterflies and rainbows, but it's not like a super dark, gruesome film. It could be worse. And they do a good job covering that up. Like, they don't always show all the gory, bloody stuff, which I think is really good because, I don't always want to see that. Nobody always needs to see it, right? It's not really necessary. And I think they did a good job of choosing what to show and what not to show, because it really, makes a difference. And so I'm going to rate this film. And originally after watching it, I'm like, it's definitely within the 8 to 10 range. I'm going to go 9.5. Definitely in my top 15 favorite films, maybe even top 10 favorite films. And there's really not a lot to say that I would have in negative. There's nothing negative really to say. It's just a really good film. Close to a 10. I don't think I can quite give it a 10, though. I just don't think I can quite give it a 10. But yeah, that's it for those two films. If you haven't seen them, go check them out, especially the second. The second one for sure, I really highly recommend, even if that's not your genre. It changed my opinion. It blew me away, and I really enjoyed it. So, but I would recommend both those films. They're both good watches, and they're both definitely worth your time. All right, moving on to the fourth and final segment of this podcast. We are going to be talking about Pass Royale, which is a feature, an addition to the mobile video game Clash Royale. So, essentially, Pass Royale and the season system was introduced in Clash Royale about a year and a half ago, and we are now currently on Season 14, with Season 13 just wrapping up last week. All right, so Pass Royale is basically an expansion onto that season feature that they have in the game, and as well as an expansion of the crown chest system, which used to be when you get 10 crowns, you get a crown chest. Now with Pass Royale, you get 10 crowns. You also get a crown chest and an additional reward, which could be a token, another chest, some coins, and other good prizes to be won from it. So I'm going to read off all the perks of Pass Royale and all the good features it includes. But before I get going, I just want to mention that Pass Royale does cost, I think, $6.99, so $7 to unlock it. So yes, it does cost real money. And whether or not it's worth it, I will get into that at the end of this segment. All right, so Pass Royale includes, well, you can earn rewards, including exclusive Season Tower skin and emote. You can also instantly unlock perks like unlimited re-entries and continues for special challenges. So as you know, Clash Royale does a lot of special challenges. They pretty much have one on all the time. With these, when you get 3 losses, as you know, you're out, and you have to, in order to regain where you were and re-enter, continue in other words, you have to pay like 50 gems or something like that. I'm not sure, but I think it's something like that. With Pass Royale, it's free. So you pick up where you were, 0 losses, you keep going, it's free, and that's a big perk in my opinion. You also get an exclusive golden player name color. So your username for your account, I guess, file, whatever you want to call it, is golden, which is a nice little thing. It doesn't really affect anything in the game, but it's a nice little feature. You also get tier chests, you get strikes. So strikes give a better chance to get the cards you want. So basically, over time, the further up you get on the ranks, the tiers. So if you get to like tier 25, tier 30, by the end of those tiers, you're going to collect a lot of strikes for chests. And you usually end up with something like 8 or 9 strikes by the end of it. And you can basically, what you do is if you get a card out of a chest that you don't want, you can use one of those strikes and you get a new card. You don't get to pick, but you get a new card. So you do have a higher chance of getting a card you want. If you're looking to upgrade a card or unlock a certain card, you can just keep zapping it, and hopefully you get that card. Also, you get to queue your chest to unlock automatically, so you can open more than one chest at a time. If you go off for, say, 5 hours and you're already unlocking one chest, which takes an hour and a half to unlock, and then you queue another one, which takes another hour and a half to unlock. When you come back on, you have 2 chests ready for you, whereas instead if you don't have Pass Royale, you only have 1 to unlock, as you can't do more than 1 at a time. All right. It also gives free gifts to clanmates, so when you unlock it, everyone in your clan gets, I think, like 500 gold. And a bonus bank, so if you get up to tier 35 and you keep going, you keep getting those 10 crowns, you will get bonus gold, and you can earn up to 10,000 gold with reward tiers once they are complete. From getting Pass Royale, you are guaranteed, at least, this is through all the chests you'll be opening and cards you will be getting, you are guaranteed to get at least 673 common cards, 153 rare cards, and 72 epics, as well as 1 legendary. So that's not bad in my opinion for $7. And yeah, that's pretty much the gist of Pass Royale. That's the perks to it. That's everything you need to know about it. Briefly going to explain the past 2 seasons. Season 13 was called Beach Battle. That was the past season there. And the Pass Royale included a tower skin, which was very tropical themed and summer themed. I think it was like a coconut one. The King Tower was like a coconut, had an umbrella on it. And the crown towers were like all like kind of like a tree, like a palm tree almost, kind of, with like crabs on the side of them or something like that. So it was very tropical and kind of paradise-like, summer-themed. And then the emote for this season was a Pekka wearing a blue Hawaiian shirt and sunglasses while drinking out of a coconut. He was drinking out of a coconut, which I think was a really cool emote, in my opinion. I really enjoyed that emote, and it is probably my favorite emote in the game at this point. Season 14 was titled Prepare for War. That's the season we're on currently, and it's titled Prepare for War. It has a very Meganite theme to it, and Meganite is the boosted card for this season. So each season, one card is boosted. It usually happens to be a legendary, from my knowledge. This season, it's Meganite. Previous season was Ice Wizard. The Crown Tower and King Tower in this season resembles a Meganite. Very Meganite looking with the black metal armor. Just very resemblant of a Meganite, really, to say the least. And the emote is an archer shooting an arrow in slow motion. So we see archers. There are no archery emotes up until this point in the game. This is the first archery emote we've seen in the game. To be honest, I'm not a huge fan of the emote compared to the P.E.K.K.A. I definitely like the P.E.K.K.A. better, as it is one of my favorite emotes in the game. But the archer one is, it's pretty cool. Now, I'm going to finish off by discussing whether or not I think Pass Royale is worth that retail price of $6.99. I'm going to go with yes, but it depends how you play the game. It's kind of a yes and no situation. If you're someone who goes on the game a lot and plays frequently and does the challenges, battles a lot, and is really looking to, kind of work their way high up that tier ladder, then yes, it's worth it. I think you have to, in my opinion, if you get to at least tier 20, because you have to be able to unlock that tower skin and that emote. If you don't get there, it's not worth it at all, because those two are really cool features. They're custom features. You can't get them any other way. So I think it's definitely worth it getting, if you can get to tier 20 or higher, then it's worth it. You also got to take advantage, I think, of those challenges, those unlimited continues and challenges, because that's a big, big perk to this feature of the game. And I think if you don't take advantage of that, you're definitely missing out on some of your money. The queuing chest is great. It's not huge, but it is a nice little feature, as well as, I guess, the gold title plate, whatever you want to call it, is good too. But yeah, in my opinion, if you're someone who frequently goes in the game, if you're someone who really enjoys the game, definitely worth the $6.99, I think. If you're someone who doesn't play the game a lot and doesn't plan on getting past tier 10, or not even getting to tier 10, not worth it. But yeah, that's about it for this episode of the Farside Podcast. That concludes all our topics today. I hope you enjoyed it. Just to briefly do a quick run by, we talked about the heat wave. If you want a copy of that book, please make sure to get in touch with me. I will be talking more about that as I get closer to releasing it, however that's going to look. Go subscribe to NTD Films. Check out their Human series. Check out their new movie review videos. They're very good too. Check out the movies Good Will Hunting and Silence of the Lambs. I recommend both of them. And yeah, Pass Royale. If you play the game, get it. If you don't, probably already left the podcast. Probably lost a few viewers anyways, so. All right, that's about it. If you stuck with us in this long edition of the Farside Podcast, thank you very much. If you have any ideas for topics, please comment them down below in the comment section. That is it for me, and that concludes the 6th episode of the Farside Podcast. I am now signing out.